Hey, welcome everybody. Today's show is going to be pretty simple, guys. 4 topics, good ones. So I can't even count. There's 5 topics. Hey, welcome everybody. Today's show is going to be pretty simple, guys. 4 topics, good ones. So here we are, guys. I can't even count. There's 5 topics. Hey, welcome everybody. So we have Brad here. Go ahead, jump in. Is that some echo in the background?
Yep. I've got all my volumes turned down.
Okay, must have been me. My apologies.
It's all good.
Robby from Travel Tech 360 is here. Brad from River City RVA and Duran for Duranafy is here. Unfortunately, Fred Johnson wasn't able to make it because he's having some electrical problems. The storm knocked out his power, and so can't do anything without power nowadays, right, guys? So, how was your weekend, Brad?
It was good. Did a little bit around the house with the wife outside. We did some things, trying to keep the yard straight and other things, but worked out there and went by really quick, even though I had a 3-day weekend. I had Friday as well, but went by really fast.
Wow. How about you,
Didn't get a chance to fly a drone. I wanted to say that. I'm beating myself over that.
How about you, Robby? How was your weekend?
That was good. I just hung around, did a little work on the computer, and relaxed some. I was waiting for your phone call. Al will always call me when it's hot. Hey, let's go out for 10 minutes. And we come back 4 hours later. He's like, do you need water? I'm just dragging.
Yeah, it was a hot one. Saturday was what, 95-ish or so, I guess, later on in the afternoon.
All right. Well, cool. Well, do you want to jump into the schedule here and see what we got going?
Yeah, let me say hello to the few folks we've already got in, or they're actually coming in pretty quickly. We looks like AZ Drone Dude is here. We got Johnny Drone Flyers popped in. Good afternoon, guys. Good evening. Ray Kelly, and looks like that's it for the moment.
Awesome. So, unfortunately, that one of the things that we wanted to discuss today was like Dolly Zoom. Let's shelf Dolly Zoom for a little while. Just give a chance for Fred to jump on because I know that was his topic. And I'll jump into the ND filters, why, when, and where you want to use them. So to kind of get started, what I wanted to do is kind of show you guys a video I did with the Air 2S using different kind of filters and see what this is all about. It's easier to illustrate than it is to sometimes talk about things, right? So I put a video together for everybody to see, and I'm queuing it up right now as we speak. Okay, finally got it queued up, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the play button and share.
And I will say this while you're getting that set up. Do you have audio on that, Al?
No audio on this one, so I'm going to talk through it.
Okay.
So here we go. So what we're about to see is a panorama of 3 pictures I put together with the Air 2S. And I shot this at using the ND64. As you can see, the traffic is lines. And these are the 3 pictures I used to put that panorama together. And I used Paint Shop Pro. And these are the 3 pictures. So you want to... Why is it important for videos? Well, we're always trying to use the 1 to 2 rule. So if you're running 30 frames a second, your shutter speed should be 60. If you're running 25 frames a second, your shutter speed should be 50. So this is a good illustration why you need ND filters. So they're all sorts of different types of ND filters, and everybody, so I'm going to stop the video here because this one is worthy of talking a little bit longer. So everybody's always talking about ND stops, right? What does ND stops mean? Well, basically what it means is that you're going to double. This is not the slide I want, so let me go ahead and play it a little further here. Yeah, this is the slide I want. Okay, so on the far left column is the ND stops, and in the middle column, right before it ends, is the ND filter size. And like we're always talking about ND8, 16, 32s, and 64. So here's a good example of how it is broken down by the professional photography world, right? And for videography also. So when somebody's telling you that they're using a stop ND filter, they're using a 256 filter.
Wow.
Okay. So is everything doubles. So every time you use a stop, you half the exposure time. Okay. So, or you double it, or however you want to look at it. It all depends on you. So you can see that then one second stop is 4, 0, 0, 1 is 1. Okay. Which is the ND2. That's how this starts. Stop 1 is an ND2, and then you double it 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 as you increase the stops. Okay, so that's pretty simple. So if you want to follow the 2-to-1 rule, 1-to-2 rule, what you want to do is set up your shutter speed and then start putting your ND filters on there until you get your histogram just right. Okay.
Hey Al, just a quick question right here while you're there. It just pops to mind for me, and maybe other folks would like to know. I find myself sometimes in the middle of the day, the sun's directly overhead, so it's really bright, and sometimes it's a little more on the horizon. Depends on which part of the day you're in. What is with this chart and maybe some of this data, what would be like the all-around ND filter to use? Would it be a 16 or a 32? I've heard people ask that question and debated that question a lot. What do you think is kind of the all around for midday, mid-morning, mid-afternoon when the light's hitting the lens quite a bit?
So that's a great question, Brad, because, all around sunny day, not many clouds out there, I will usually use it like a 32 and keep my ISO down to 100. And so the only way we can adjust our shutter speed or light coming into the sensor is either by changing the shutter or the EV value, and then we can get the right exposure in our histogram. But if you're trying to stick to the rules of videography, then you're going to have to keep it at either 50 or 60, or if your shutter speed is set to your recording resolution is 120 frames a second, then your shutter speed should be 240. And so you dial in your ND filter, and that usually will keep you either on between the 16 and 64, Brad. So
Okay.
if you pick a 32 on a sunny day, you're going to be pretty much golden with ISO 100.
Okay. Yeah. And the reason I asked that question, I've heard people debate whether or not a 16 or a 32 would be good just all around to have at all times. Now, of course, most, I guess, ND filter kits, if you get like the 4 ND filters from a lot of them, it's 8, 16, 32, 64 maybe, or 4, 8, 16, 32. I'm not sure, but I guess that's a good range to have for your all around daylight hours of sunshine.
If in doubt, just grab the 16. Okay, because then you could go either a bit on the cloudy side or a little bit on the sunny side, and still be able to keep it pretty close to those parameters.
Okay. Yep. Absolutely. That's good.
All right, so I'm going to show you some examples here, and this is, you can see the ISO level here on the left side right there. So this exposure was set at 6 seconds. Okay?
You're not sharing now.
Oh, thank you. Time to
saying
share.
something we weren't.
Isn't that the truth? Okay, so on the left upper quadrant, it shows you that the exposure time for this shot for photography is totally different, obviously, than videography, but you can see what the difference in exposures is. This is the 6-second shot, and then I'll play the video. This is the 3.2 second as it gets darker and darker. And there's a 2.5 second. It's really getting dark, right? And there's a 1.3 second.
Wow, those are some good examples right there. I like that.
And this is right in the middle of our beautiful city, right? And you can see those examples changing as I'm changing the exposure. Okay, so that's it for the video. I'll go ahead and stop sharing. And I think we're back, right? And we're back. Yeah, so why would you use filters, Robby or Brad? I mean, how are you guys using them now? I mean,
Well, I'll tell you, when I first started off, because I didn't know how to adjust my ISO, I was changing lens on there to try to get it to work for what I saw best. And then as time went on, Al taught me how to adjust the ISO. It made a difference. But I'll tell you, we went out one late afternoon and I flew. And Al, I think we flew with a 64. It was like flying in Braille. I was like, Al, I can't see. He's like, adjust the ISO. You need light. And I mean, you couldn't see anything. It was so dark. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think for a person that doesn't know how to adjust the camera settings, you know, honestly, I'd leave an 8 on, and the 8 would work before I learned to adjust. And then afterwards, of course, when I learned to adjust the ISO, I was able to change into different lens. But I just don't use a dark lens that much like Al does, because he has a lot more experience to adjust the camera. And you do need to be able to work your way up to using the darker lenses like that, you know, to stop some of that light.
Yeah, and one of the things that we definitely have to do is just experiment, right? You know, go out and just blow a couple batteries, just changing your filters and changing your exposure.
I guess you really gotta know your drone.
You really
do. And it's scary when it's in the dark. Me and Al did a test one time, and we were doing a review on one of those LED lights. If we went to a boat dock in the middle of nowhere. So here we are on the boat dock. Bugs are eating us up. We fly the drone up. We can't see anything because the way the drone tilts when it goes forwards, going away, we couldn't even see the LED until he turned around. So he really had to adjust that ISO in order for us to see through that camera.
Well, I was going to say, for me, I have never really ever used the ND filters on any of my drones, and I've had ND filters. I did try them on my Air, my Mavic Air, the original one, and I do have those on there. And I think I used a 16 during the middle of an afternoon, evening-ish, and I don't think it was enough. But I need to learn how to adjust. And I'm a camera guy, so I know about the ISO and the aperture, you know, and messing with all the settings. But I haven't learned it a lot on my own drones to be able to figure out which one of those ND filters I would need, and then the range of adjustments.
You'll notice it more when you go to do your editing of your videos, and you're like, wow, there's a big difference from what we're looking at on the screen compared to when we're doing post edit and we go through it. It really makes you think, wow, which one was I using here?
All right. With that said, let me show you what it looked like after I switched from camera mode to video mode. Here's what the video looks like. And this goes to your point, Robby, what it looks like when you're in video mode. All right, let me share the screen. Here we go. This is the video trying to get back after I shot.
Wow.
Okay.
Scary.
And this is how I'm flying back. Okay. So this is what Robby's talking about. But since I'm doing a line of sight and I have an ND64 sunset, you know, that's what it looks like trying to land. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna make a comment. Brad, when you see people, if this is me flying, the first thing I do is I want to look down and see what my altitude is.
Yeah.
All right. Pretty cool, right?
You know what that made me think of, though, Al? It made me think of like wartime when all the cities had to turn their lights off.
Okay. So we're 14 minutes into it, so I guess we better jump to the next topic. What's in our next topic, guys? Anybody remember? Robby?
It looks like we still have the Dolly Zoom, which I think you was Fred going to do some of that.
Yeah, we'll
okay.
Much time as we'll bump that one to the bottom.
Okay, so we got corporate delivery or drone deliveries, and then also successful drone companies for human travel. So we have those two subjects still to talk about.
Robby, let's jump on your favorite one here, which is I'll let you. Don't want to steal your thunder and let you go.
When we were we did the last live stream, I noticed that somebody, and I didn't see who actually made the comment, but they were wanting to know, what is that going to do when we have all these commercial drones in the air? Because right now, we're already having to stay away from airports and no-fly zones. So in the future, how much tighter are we going to be as far as a pattern for being able to fly the drones? Now, some of these rules, y'all, Al, you may know better because, I've only been doing the droning for about a year now, and you've got a little bit, a lot more experience than I've got here. But when they first came out, they had a section 336, and it used to be you could fly over 400 foot. And they changed that, and they have a new section of 349 where the FFA can govern and add more rules in that, which controls us more on what we're doing. So after looking at some of the companies that are actually doing the carrier, they have a different certification. Like where we would have a 107 Part B, they have to have an air carrier certification. They have to get that certification in order to fly those commercial drones to do the delivery. But catch this, they're talking about doing weight packages from 5 to 30 pounds. Wow. Now, when I looked up all of these carriers, none of these carriers would designate a model of a drone they use. They would just say they use a commercial drone. So I couldn't find anything on what brand that they were using. But so far from what I found is we've got Amazon Prime Air. They do 5 to 30 pounds, and they're just starting now. We got UPS Flight Forward, another company called Flytrax, Wing Copper, and we've got DHL Parcel Copter. But actually, there's a company called Wing. Some of these smaller companies here that aren't like UPS and FedEx and stuff like that, they're carrier companies. So example, when we were going through the COVID and Walgreens was trying to send out medications to people, they would hire these private drone companies to do the deliveries for them. And there's one called Wing, and they actually have a location in Christiansburg right here in Virginia.
Oh my God, really?
They're in Christiansburg. They've got one in Finland and 2 locations in Australia. So I didn't see enough to see if it was American-based company or maybe it was a Australian or Finland. But what they do is they actually go out and companies hire them to do the deliveries, just private delivery. I guess it'd be like an Uber delivery for a specific company.
Right,
but,
right.
As I was looking through the information in there, the CDA, which is the Commercial Drone Alliance, they're not our friends. They're not our friends because they're trying to set things up where they have more control. And some of the stuff that I read when I was going through it was, when they first came out with, I guess, the Pro 2 drone, it got drug off a while, and everybody was thinking, yeah, they're not going to launch it yet because they're trying to put the remote ID in it. So they had that. And, for a long time, I thought, the remote ID, I didn't exactly understand what they were wanting to do that for. But some of the people now are talking about the Mavic 3. Is it going to have something in there? Because we're going to have to go to the remote ID in the future. The reason is they said that it's kind of like when you have cargo ships here going through the ocean to different countries to drop stuff off. There's a channel there that they stay in when they go. Now they're saying that the people that have the air courier certification, they're going to be a higher level than what we are going to be as drone pilots, which means that we are not allowed to fly in their area. And in the future, we may not be able to fly in Class G restricted area either, even if we have a 107D.
Well, have you seen what Drone Views Media say that he had to cancel a flight over in Ireland because of commercial drone delivery service?
Yeah. So I think that it's going to get tighter.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get tighter for us.
Yeah, good research. Thanks for sharing that, man.
Yeah, that's a lot of good information. I mean, I see that being definitely coming as far as those lanes or shipping, like the shipping lanes, or just the airspace in a blocks of area at certain times a day that are going to be just taken out, and you just won't be able to fly because of your lower class registration with the FAA.
They're looking right now. They're talking distance. From a facility like an Amazon facility. They're talking about each facility that's shipping out a product. They want to keep it within a 10-mile radius of where the base is, where the product is, and landing, and it's going to be totally GPS done. So they're not going to have a pilot to go in and do it. It's going to be a pre-mapped software that's just going to take the drone automatically.
So it's going to be autonomous. It'll have the coordinates autonomously, or and input it into it, and it'll be autonomously taken, delivered, and returned back to where it was.
Scary.
That's
scary, though.
It is.
And you know, one of the things that we feared is once they create a lane of traffic like that, they're going to lock us all out.
Oh yeah,
exactly. And that's what they said they were going to do. That's what they said. So,
you know, and then if it ends up being, you know, I could almost see them doing a 300 to 400 level, or, you know, I'm just speculating here. That, you know, if they had that airspace and we were restricted now down to 300, I could see something like that coming.
Yeah.
That would be more realistic in the way we're thinking, as to keep us, you know, continue with our hobbies and our other things that people are doing with Part 107 to make their money, commercial work. But I think there's going to be a lane, whether it's going to be vertical, it's going to be a vertical lane, horizontal lane, all the above. I just hope they don't pull us down to like a 100 to 200 foot level or something like that.
That's a great idea. I didn't think about the different levels, because if you ever notice, I'm an internet provider in Costa Rica. So the way that they work there and they work here also is, if you overlook at a power line, your high power is always on top. Always on top. And then you'll have your telephone lines, and then you'll have your cable TV. And my buddy that installed cable, he said, I hate being the cable guy, because in the winter, the telephone guys got to step on me to get to their line, and they always break my line.
Yeah, makes sense.
So let's see. I was kind of searching to see if they had any pictures of, what was that last carrier you said that?
The last carrier is called Wing, and they're in Christiansburg, Virginia.
Yeah, I just looked that up. I've been to Christiansburg. It's out near Radford, and it's way out. It's Blacksburg, Radford. It's down near Interstate 81 in the southwestern part of our state. Not all the way, but
yeah, agreed. I mean, it's. Did you find any pictures or anything?
I didn't find anything at all. You know what I did read, though, when I was reading about all these carrier companies, they said the new and upcoming hot jobs are going to be drone repair.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
All right, so I found a few pictures, and the DHL one's here, and the Walmart one is here. And wow, they show the Walmart actually flying, and the DHL too. So
look at when they say mini drone. The drones look like they're huge. They're calling them minis.
Well, there's another thing to think about as well. Another part of this, you know, the insurance companies are going to be hopping on the bandwagon on this and making a lot of money at it. And probably maybe in the beginning, it's probably not going to be as much money, because the companies will still be figuring out things. They'll be crashing drones. People might be taking the drones out with guns. Who knows? I mean, could be anything. But I think once they lock it down, the insurance for these things, it's going to probably be rather expensive, because you know, people can get hurt from these things.
Look how big that is, Brad. Imagine that falling from 200, 400 foot.
Oh my gosh. I see it's got a 7-Eleven logo on it.
Yeah, and they're all hexacopters too.
Yeah,
well,
a lot of
not
props.
all. This one is not, but that one doesn't look real.
I'm really
all doctored up.
I would be really surprised if the final product is going to be an exposed prop UAV, delivery type UAV, because I mean it would only take one drone to drop down into a yard, or, you know, who knows, they probably won't do that, but drop down in a yard with some kids, or a schoolyard, or, you know, something like that, and you know, don't want to think about it, but taking out a bunch of kids. And then, I mean, look what that does to the industry. Look what that does to all of us. I would think maybe the end product would have some way of putting some type of protection around it, whether it's, you know, the ducted type shells or an enclosure of some sort. I can't imagine they'd have exposed props with something that's going to fly autonomously.
I read that they were going to, on some of these companies, they extend the product from I think a 20-foot, I guess, rope or whatever to drop it down to keep the drone from actually landing. And that's what I showed on these companies here. But I guess my question is if it's going to be autonomous and no one's going to be flying it, are they going to have cameras? Because I tell you one thing, if they don't have cameras on those drones, there's going to be a huge black market for parts, because people are going to be throwing stuff at them.
Right. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Throwing stuff at them, grabbing that rope that's dropping it down or whatever
Exactly.
mechanism is dropping it down.
Free batteries.
That's right. It's going to be open game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tell you what. I mean, it's scary if anything goes wrong, right?
Well, you know, when we fly like Al, we go down and fly with the river. We have birds chase us. I mean, and you know, even with the Skydio and some of the other drones that have the you know, the follow me feature where it's following you, they're still hitting branches and stuff. So I'm really eager to see what zones and what areas these drones are going to fall in order to not run into stuff.
Right.
Because if the big boys can't do it correctly every single time with a little drone, imagine one of those monsters falling, hitting a limb.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So shall we move on, or what do you guys think of the audience? Should we continue on this one?
Yeah. Haven't seen anything out of Fred yet. I don't know about you, but
no, nothing yet. So we can move on. Let's see what we have.
We still have we could talk about the DJI fake news.
Okay, let's do that one. I'm good with that. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the fake news of DJI. I know that you mentioned one of the channels has been chatting about it, and
yeah. So that, you know, there's been some pictures out there in the last week or so of what speculation of what the M3, the Mavic 3 Pro, whatever it's going to be called, looks like. And it has, in one picture, the props are all upright, the motors are upright, and another picture, there's two of them are flipped upside down. And then also, you know, when we talked prior to the show, Robby, you know, you're calling out the camera was the same one off of Mavic Pro 2, right? So, you know, somebody did some excellent Photoshop work, and not so excellent in my opinion, because it was very obvious where the joints of the arms were, but you know, you just don't know. And it is good conversations to bring up. One of the other shows last week was talking about it, and you know, everybody gets excited about new things when they're waiting on the new drone to come out and want to see these leaked photos and leaked specs. And, you know, it creates a huge buzz. And this buzz has been going for a while with the M3, Mavic 3, whatever it's going to be. So, you know, I understand that, but I try not to take all those as being the truth until you really get some solid evidence or, you know, some solid information from a reliable source. So I'm not sure where those pictures came from originally, but you know, it created a lot of buzz.
I think it's a lot of clickbait.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. 98% clickbait.
That's true. That's true. So that being said, that's all, you know, I don't know much more than that, Al. You know, I haven't done a whole lot of homework this week so far. I mean, this past week. But there, you know, there's a lot of buzz out there, and a lot of YouTube channels. If you know, you can go to YouTube and look up Mavic 3, M3, and you know, there's a lot of people that have pictures and drawings and conversations about it. It's a lot of buzz, as I'm saying.
We talked last week, and we were talking about, somebody said Walmart had the Mini SE for $299.
Yeah.
So I looked it up. Al, do you have that image?
I do,
or
but
that
I
link?
have to. Yeah, I have to find it in my chat, so it might take a little bit. You guys keep talking. Yeah, if you send it to me, it'd be even better. Yeah, so one of the things that, you know, DJI is so good at is using us to do all the marketing for them, right? I mean, they do a genius job doing that, you know?
Yep. I have I pulled up Walmart's site, and they're actually showing the Mini SE, but no price on it.
Not available right now.
Right. It says delivery not available, pickup not available. So the price is not on there. So the picture we saw, though, was not a price on the website, right? It was a card hanging inside the store.
Yeah, and Fred Johnson actually took that picture.
Yeah, yep.
We'll send you the link out.
Okay, thank you. Looking at it now.
But I was thinking that somebody had said they thought this was going to be the week that it was going to be released, but there was no solid evidence of that. I'm just remembering hearing somebody say something like that on one of the other YouTube channels. Yeah, that's the same page I saw.
So yeah, Fred was the one that was able to get a picture of that tag,
Right.
and it was at his Walmart in Lucerne Lake in New York area.
Yeah, and he posted it on, what was it? He posted on Drone Nation, maybe. I'm gonna look at that right now. I think it was posted a couple of places actually.
Yeah, see if you can find it.
Yeah, I'm looking now.
See if I can find it too. Yeah, but that's the only thing. I have not seen anything else on this.
It was supposed to be $299 here, correct?
Correct. Yeah. I mean,
what is Best Buy selling?
Worth it. $299.
Same price.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, if you look at this thing, this is well worth it just for the freaking controller, man.
Well, you say that the controller, yeah, and the batteries, maybe if they're still the same for the Mini 2, I don't know if they're going to be, but this is still a Wi-Fi, right? Or do we know yet? Isn't it just a Mini 1 revamped?
I don't think so, because they got a different controller in here, and this has always been an OcuSync controller, unless they're changing the guts out, right?
Right. Which they can throw firmware in to make it do anything, I would think.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
2.7K.
What's that, Rob?
2.7K on the video.
Yeah,
Not 4K.
Yeah, it's not 4K. It's 2.7, and I didn't see anything that indicated it was OcuSync, right, Al? I didn't see any.
I have not seen any marketing saying that, but
no,
just guessing from what we're seeing on the picture.
I'm still looking at trying to find the shot that Fred had, and I know he posted it somewhere. I just can't find it now.
Let me see if I can find it for you.
Oh, here, Lauren Donier had posted on Drone Nation on the 16th. The DJI Mini SE release date is July 15th. So that would have been last week.
We're blown by that. Yeah.
We're blown by that. And I've actually clicked it. I've got a page open up for Drone XL that shows that if I can go ahead and share, Al, if you want.
Sure, please do.
Let me find the screen that I'm going to share. Let's see. There we go. Got it. Okay. First time I've sharing. So can you see that page right there?
We can now. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is on Drone XL's website as an article, breaking news. And so saying it was going to be released July 15th. And this is an old article. I'm sure a lot of you folks have seen it. It's back from the 16th. But they're saying it's going to be priced at $299 and it should be released on July 15th. I'm not sure where the holdup is now. While Walmart doesn't have them, Walmart should be one of the first ones to get it, I would think, because they have a huge partnership with them on this particular drone with DJI.
Yeah, and they're God, they can get to market so fast. They have so many stores and they have the website.
So you can see this. You can see that picture right there of I guess that's the tag. That's a hang tag right there. And it doesn't say anything about OcuSync on there. And it says 2.5 miles, which seems like it's further than a Wi-Fi drone. The Mini didn't ever make it that far.
Hey, what about that battery mark, Brad?
What's that?
What about that battery mark on there?
Oh, the battery.
30 minutes?
Oh, yeah, 30 minutes. I see it now. So, and that's it.
Walmart's advertising right now, since they're trying to compete with Amazon. They have no shipping fees on anything, no minimum. So you can spend $1 and they'll ship it to you free. So people get these, they can buy them and have them shipped to their house or business and not pay any shipping fee at all.
I just made a mistake, and Maddie called me out on it. He's right. This article that I just had up on the screen, it says July 15th, not June 15th.
Not June 15th.
I thought that thing said June. I had heard somebody say mid-June at some point. That's why I was kind of locked in on that. Yep, you're right, Maddie. Thank you.
Good catch, Maddie. Appreciate it. All right, so that's the scuttlebutt on the DJI Mini SE. I'm not sure if are they calling it a Mavic, or are we just calling it the Mini? I think they're calling
There's
it
no
Mavic.
The Mavic name's being dropped off of everything. We don't even speculate anymore that the M3 is going to be a Mavic. I think it's just going to be, DJI. DJI is going to name it something else. Lauren even said that on a couple of shows so far. I pretty much think the Mavic name is going to be dropped.
They're moving on to the next era, I guess.
I'm not sure why. I've heard some other people speculate why they're doing that, but I don't. Why they want to lose the Mavic name? Maybe because they want to change the way folks see the drones in different classifications.
Yeah, they definitely want to brand it.
Yeah.
For, like you said, a segment of the drone business, right? Because you always have a sub 300, then you have the 300 to 600, 600 to 900, and then 900 and above.
Yeah, pretty much above. Yeah. Yeah. So, and Maddie's got another good point there too. He's saying it's going to sell like hotcakes for that.
Absolutely.
For sure. For that
He's
price,
right.
For that the introduction into droning, that's going to be hot. I mean, and if it comes out anytime soon, and it's going to sell good, it's going to probably sell out between now and Thanksgiving.
Agreed. So, question to the panel and to the audience: who's going to buy the DJI Mini SE? Are you going to buy it, Robby? Are you going to buy it, Brad?
Nope. I'm sticking with my Mini 2, and then that thing is got everything I need on it, and I don't think the Mini SE is going to have exactly the same specs up to that level. Well, we'll see.
Well, you see what Johnny Drone Flyer, what Johnny's saying. Johnny said that the Mini's on sale on Amazon, but today is Prime Day also, guys.
Yeah, right. It is.
So,
it is.
I don't know about you guys, but I ordered a few things because that was Prime Day.
Yeah, I think the original Mini was on sale today. I saw something right under $400 for the Fly More combo. I think it was $395 or something like that.
Yeah, the Mini 2 is worth it, but the Mini is not. My opinion.
I think this drone is going to be great for the new people wanting to get into droning that just don't want to spend over that $400 and $500 mark. I think it'll be a good entry level. How long they'll keep it before the upgrade is hard to say. When I first started off and I went out with Al, the first thing I flew was at the Spark, wasn't it, Al?
Yeah.
And he was flying like I think it was the Pro 2. We went down the football field over here at the high school, and I was so excited to fly, but it's like I had it floored, and I still wasn't hardly going anywhere because of the speed, and Al was coming back. So I was like, I don't want to buy this. I want a faster drone. But for beginners, for people, not really beginners, but people that want to get into, a higher level drone that's not a toy, this is a great price. In here, someone had asked on how many batteries. Who was that in there? Yeah, Gerald, for $299, trust me, you're only going to get one battery with that, baby.
unless you get like a Costco deal, and Costco's also distributing. They're going to make a battery out of DJI.
Yeah, and if I go back to what I was sharing before, just show it one more time. There's what's in the box for $299. That's what they're saying.
I want to make a call out to Alec Mark Aerial Video GR. He's from Greece, guys. Hey, thanks for
stopping. Yeah. Hey, Al, can you show that screen real quick?
I am. Here we go.
Yep. So that's what you're going to get with the Mini SE kit. It's not a Fly More kit. I don't think they're going to make a Fly More kit. I could be wrong, but for $299, this is what you get. You get one battery. You get all your cables you need for your cell phones, your different hookups, Type C, your Lightning connector, and your micro USB. Then you get your gimbal cover, your clear cover there to protect the camera, and then some extra props, the screws to go along with those props, and a screwdriver and your controller, and that's it.
Manny had said in here that it has the same specs on this box that it has on the Mini. And I guess my question is, I wonder if it will use the same battery as the Mini uses. That's
what I was saying in the beginning. If it does, that'll be a plus because it'll make the batteries more available for the Mini 1 and the Mini 2 that's already out there. I would assume. I think they both use the same batteries, right? Or do they?
No. lithium ion for the Mini, and then
That's right.
lithium
That's right.
for the Mini
That's right.
too. So they're using 18650s in the Mini, and that's why they chose them, because they're friendlier to a beginner hobbyist. Because then you can leave them charged and not worry about it.
Drone age 63 made a good comment here. He said, if they did a fly more combo, you'd be pushing closer to the Mini 2 price, and he's right about that. So it's going to be a deal like people will buy it and then just have to spend the straight out cash for the extra batteries as needed.
That's true.
True.
It's true.
True.
Hey, so yeah, I don't know if there's much more we want to talk about on that, but it should be available next month. Looks like then.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yep, July 15th. No, I'm going to say it a couple of times so I don't say it wrong again.
Okay.
July 15th.
All
Brad,
right.
The reason I didn't want to get the drone, Brad, the reason I didn't want to get it is because of the weight. When I've flown down at the river and the wind hits the smaller drones now, I don't have the Air 2 flying down here right now, but, I just like a little bit more weight on the drone so I don't have as many issues with the wind.
Yeah, that those minis can be just picked up and carried away. I mean, yeah, they can handle a consistent higher wind than you would think. I'll give one example. Somebody had one in Dillon, Colorado, when we went for spin down, is what we called it last year, and the winds were gusting through there 30, 40 miles an hour, and somebody put one up and just hovered it. They didn't fly it, they just hovered it, and that thing was just almost it was standing on its nose, and it was back and forth, but it held its own. But if he'd have taken off and tried to fly that thing, if he'd have lifted up and tried to turn it or something, that wind would have caught it and just took it away. So to your point, yeah, you need a heavier drone.
When I flew my Spark over the James, I flew my Spark, and the wind caught it, and I said, Al, my controller's not working. He said, why? I said, my drone is going left and I'm flying right. He goes, oh, the wind's got it.
Yeah, that's when you start freaking out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next topic because we're running low on time, guys. So let's see what we got. Let's take a look.
So now I think the next topic is the Dolly Zoom challenges, right?
Yeah, we could go ahead and start talking about the Dolly Zoom, and it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, you're an expert on that, aren't you, Al?
I like Dolly Zoom, and Alfred Hitchcock invented that in 1958 with what was the name of that video? Not video. It's the movies back then. Oh God, it'll come to me. But anyway, he put the camera on a dolly, and he zoomed in as the camera went up. So it changed the perspective. So the foreground and background melted together and gave you that, kind of warpy effect. So it's not that hard to make with the Mini 2 and the Air, both the Air, well, not the original Air, but the Air 2s, because we have that function button and the left thumb wheel you can push at the same time, and you can zoom in and out. Now, I do have an example of a video that we can look at and just kind of give you the idea how that works. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward, guys. It's the biggest problem and challenge is if you increase altitude as you're pulling back, it kind of changes the perspective of the background, and it won't come out as nice. So if you can keep it at the same altitude as you're pulling back, you're better off than going up. That's what I figured out. Let me go ahead and queue up a couple. Have you played with it, Brad? Have you had a chance to play with it?
Well, when you and I met that first time down by the James River, and you had me trying that up there by the war, war memorial. I've got some of that footage on my laptop that I'm on currently. I'm trying to locate it, and I might be able to show it if I can find it.
Okay, I'm going to share a screen. I'm going to turn on the audio this time. So I'm going to let it rip. You guys ready? Here we go. Let's play it.
Manual Dolly Zoom with an air 2 by pressing the function button and the left index finger roller at the same time. As you roll the roller, you zoom in and you pull back through and this is the effect. You know, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.
So that's the video I put together to kind of illustrate it. I know, Robby, you probably remember that building in the background. That was that building we were flying from to do the range test on the FEMI Mini. So yeah, it's quite a bit of a challenge trying to get all that to work at the same time. And I know that I put together another video here that illustrates it, the differences between. And I'll go ahead and back it up here and give you guys an example. I'll talk through this one just to kind of give you a context of what's going on, what else I was doing and everything. So the biggest trick it is consistently putting the right amount of pressure on that roller and consistently putting the amount of speed away from the subject or object. So here we go. Let me share it. Okay, so what you see there is the city on the background, and I decided to pick this object as the Dolly Zoom effect. And so the thing to notice here is this walking bridge that's suspended from the bridge above it is going to be, the background and that bridge are going to come together. And here we go. So that's where you get the perspective shift that kind of messes with your head, right?
Yeah, it does.
And that's what, in what Vertigo, the name of the movie that Alfred Hitchcock made was Vertigo. That's what he was intending to do, right? To give you that. So this is the difference between the Air 2S and then when you're going to see what the Mavic 2 Pro looks like using the same camera, but both cameras are unbelievable. This is the 2 Pro, and you can see as I'm zooming in, I'm lifted up because I'm worried about trees behind you, but you can see that lifted up does not give you that same effect.
Right.
Because what is happening, we're changing the focal point of the object or subject and putting too many elements in the picture for us to, focus on the one thing that will create that vertical effect.
I would think, Al, just looking at this, and you're the expert or out of this group, I would think for sure. But when you have something framing the picture like that bridge and the pieces of the bridge, and you got the city in the background, it doesn't look like it works as good as if you just had that flyover bridge there and the city in the background. I think it worked a lot better. It really messed with my eyes a lot, that first one you showed us.
That first one, yeah. And the whole trick was don't increase altitude, back up and zoom in at the same rate. You can't have different rates. So that's the end of the video, but there's probably a really good illustration why Dolly Zoom is so successful in creating that, I'm messed up, I'm drunk, I'm on drugs feeling, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of out of it. So if you want to create that type of effect in your video, that's probably a good thing to do. Hey, Idaho Quadcopter joining us. The Duranafy does really great Dolly Zooms. Yeah, we're going to have to talk about that, Marcus. I mean, that sounds awful nice to be able to compare. Hey, you're welcome. Send me the parrot over here, and I'll compare, put it together. Or better yet, why don't you come join us here and do a meetup in Richmond? We'll get down to Virginia Beach, and we could also fly down here. There's a lot of places. We can go to the mountains and fly, too. So a lot of places to fly from. Actually, we all need to expand our areas of flight a little bit.
Hey Al, answer this question for BMAX aerial visuals. Is that bridge holding up a bridge the video that you just showed that had the walking bridge with the cables, is that connected to the bottom of the overpass?
Yes, it is.
It is.
It is. Yeah, it sure is. You'll see it right here as it's backing up.
I've seen that bridge somewhere before with your Skydio.
Yeah,
Al hit the cable with the Skydio. The Skydio recovered.
That's nice.
It did, Brad. It dropped like 20 feet, 30 feet. Man.
I'm not surprised. I'm surprised you recovered.
Yeah, let me see when I stop doing the dolly zoom here, and just to kind of give you the perspective.
Yeah.
You'll see how the cables are attached to the top of that bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope that answers your questions. Let's see, who was that said asked that question?
Aerovisuals.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, so I want to just quickly say hello to a few more folks. We're missing a few when they came in. We've got Chris Hope's in the house. We got Marcus in with Idaho Quadcopter. We got B-Max Aero Visuals is in. And let me scroll back a little bit. Johnny Drumflyer, I called him out earlier, but just want to say hello to everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it. You know, we're just getting this show kicked off last week. It's our second show. We're still trying to figure things out, and we're getting there.
Yeah, and so we were talking about doing dolly zoom with just, what we're doing is using with the Air 2S, we're using it's not a real, camera zoom in, because we're zooming in digitally. So.
Right. You're zooming in on the resolution. You're actually, bringing pixels in closer, as opposed to a real camera lens that would be able to do it with the glass.
Yeah, we're definitely cropping in, right?
Yep.
At a constant rate. And so we could also do it in post. I know that I did a lot of dolly zooms with my Femi SA 2020 too. Let me see if I even have that.
So does that work actually in post, Al? I mean,
yeah. So
it seemed like it would be a different effect if you're just zooming in. Let's see, you're zooming in. Oh, so what you would have would be footage that was already moving, and then you zoomed in on that footage that's moving. I got you.
Yeah, because that's how I created the Mavic 2 Pro shots. I did them in post to compare it to the Air 2S. So let me see if I can find. Here's the shot, and I'll share that with you. This was done in post using the video editor. And not a file. I'm sharing the screen. Sorry about that, guys. It'll take me a little bit to get there, but I'll get there. Yeah, so this shot here, Brad, to answer your question, is done in post. So this is the Mavic 2 Pro, and I'm zooming in post.
Okay. I see where now I see how you get obtaining that. Yep.
So I just backed it up at the same rate, and then I just.
Right. You didn't do any zooming at all when you backed it up. You just have footage backing up, and then you zoomed in on post.
Yeah.
Yeah, that worked. I can see that. That's pretty good. I didn't know you could do that. That works pretty well.
Yeah, you can do it in post, and obviously shoot at the highest resolutions you can.
Yep.
Because that way you can crop in more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
4K or better.
Yeah, 4K or better. It'll definitely do it. It'll work well. But we're lucky to live in a city like this, guys.
Oh, I know. We got a beautiful city, beautiful James River at most of the time if it's not flooded. And even then, the rushing water's coming down, the white water. It's actually chocolate milk water, but looks awesome when it's flowing through the city, even when we were way above flood stage. Dangerous, but cool nonetheless.
Yeah, and the expert kayakers, they just love to do that stuff.
Yeah, surfing and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm amazed that those folks can handle that water. So I'm trying to key up the next shot here for you guys. So that's why I'm kind of fumbling around.
And I couldn't find my footage that I had from that day you and I were down there, Al. So I'll have to get that queued up for another show.
Okay. All right. And this one, I'm going to go ahead and play the audio. And Robby, you'll know where this place is. And I think you will too. Actually, both of you guys should know this place. So let me go ahead and share the screen. I'm going to quiz you guys to see which one comes up with the answer first of the location that you're about to see. Here we go.
Bring in with your name, Robby.
Hollywood.
Not Hollywood. Yep,
right.
You got me.
So this is the FEMI X8 SE 2020 backing out.
Yep, backing out towards the river.
And there's the background and foreground merging together to give you that funky look.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the biggest problem with the 2020 is it just doesn't have the same camera. It's not as nice. So the video starts falling apart as you zoom in more. So, yeah.
It is a cool effect. If you could perfect it, you've done really well with a lot of these. If you could perfect that's just such a cool shot.
It is. It really is a challenge to make. You know, it really is a challenge. No doubt about it. But anyway, I'll stop there because we're getting close to wrapping things up.
Yep. You got Christmas in there all of a sudden.
Yeah. It was a while back when I made that. So.
Well, I will say we missed Fred this evening. He had some challenges on his end. He had I think had a storm come through where he lives in upstate New York, right, Al?
That is correct.
And had some storms come through. He lost power and must have lost his internet and didn't have any way to get that back to catch us on the show. But we'll get him on here next week. But Robby, it's been great having you on the show for sure.
All right, so let's do the 5 minutes of shameless promotions. I'll start with you, Brad, with that laugh of yours.
Well, I'll have my same short, shameless one from last week. My channel is Brad Alston, River City RVA right now. It's just personal stuff on there. I haven't got a lot of footage for drones or photography on there, but welcome to go there and subscribe if you want. I'm hoping to get some more stuff on there, but mostly just hit or miss on my drone flying. Got a lot of other things going on, but try to do what I can to get some in and catch up with Al quite a bit these days when I'm out in that part of town, and we try to do some chit chat about this show and about drones and about RC cars actually all of a sudden here lately. So that might be a subject in a future show.
Very good. Robby, what say you?
Yeah, I'm Robby Gray, and my channel is Travel Tech 360. I've not made a video in a couple of months. I've been working on some projects and also working on our new Facebook group, this World Drone Community. We're trying to get that thing set up with a new website also and give a place for people to go and actually get more information from different states. And we have contributors from countries all over the world, Asia, Germany, Finland. I mean, all over. It's amazing just to be able to see, the different landscapes throughout the world. And there's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people with channels that are in our group. So, I'm going to be putting out some more videos next week on the Travel Tech 360 and doing more drone footage around Richmond until I get ready to go back to Thailand. And then the area will change more to beach and islands because I'm going to do some traveling when I get over there. I live there full time, but I'm here now because of the virus. So hopefully I'll be able to go home soon. When I do, I'll have a lot more footage there. But I'm working on trying to work on my channel there and also work on the World Drone Community, get more people involved in that to bring in new people that are interested in droning and having them learn from the more experienced people like Al to help their learning experience. Make that learning curve faster.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you went after me. I couldn't compete with that.
But no, you're awesome, Brad. So yeah, kind of dovetailing what Robby said. I've been working on a couple things too, and mostly on videos on how to protect your investments, like your Mavic Air, not Mavic, just Air 2S. Golly, I keep doing that mistake of Mavic.
Same.
Let's drop it, Air 2S, and I actually got a chance to fly the Recon 3 from Recon FPV, and I don't know if that drone is for me, man. I really don't. But the other thing that Robby and I have been doing, kind of a collaboration, more his leading that. He's been working on my webpage, so I'll share the screen. Is shameless promotion time. And this is the Duranafy.live, guys. This is my social media kind of clearinghouse. And as you can see now, I'm starting to put merchandise on here. So if you guys are interested in any merchandise, check it out. And if you want some merchandise made with your logos, please contact me or Robby. We should be able to help you out, guys, because Robby and I have been trying to come up with some pretty cool shirt logos. I mean, I'm definitely wearing one now, and Robby's wearing one now. I don't know if the back has anything. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So let me turn around and show you the stupid questions that should be answered by shirt.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we're gonna need a screenshot of that.
Hey, the QR code is a good idea, because you would not believe how many people that come out and say, "Hey, what's your channel?" So we're sitting here trying to work the phone and fly. So we're like, scan the QR code.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely.
That QR code is a great idea.
We got to get you in some shirt. We got to get you some shirts.
Yeah, definitely,
Brad, because I promote a product line where I've got my logo here, and then I've got the World Drone Community here. So we're going to start doing a bunch of shirts that will have World Drone Community here, and we'll put your logo on the back.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Hey, Johnny, Drone Flyer, send me your logo, man. I'll make you one. All right. So what are we going to do next coming week? So I want to just kind of throw this out to the audience and to the panel. Hey, we need topics to talk about. Jet Martin suggested the ND filter. Thank you, Jet, so much. I want to make sure you get the credit for that topic. It was a good topic. It definitely, that's going to be the biggest challenge for most of these live streams, is going to be coming up with the topics, right? So feel free to give us some suggestions, guys. You want to see more about, how to stop the water at the ocean, or, how to be able to, fly under or something like that. How to FPV, if you're interested in FPV droning. Let us know what you guys are interested in, what you want to hear, because we're here for you.
Well, I would say also, if they pop it in the chat, that's fine, as long as we get the chat to stay attached to the video. Al, if you make any changes to it, I think you lose the chat. But what you can do is, if you guys have any ideas, throw it in the comments below the video after the show, or even during the show if they're available right now. I'm not sure. No, they're not available yet. But drop them in there, or send us. Every one of y'all, for the most part, know us. And pop us something for the show as a topic, and we'll definitely entertain it. And we do whatever everybody wants, and try to find some information and keep everybody informed. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, agreed. So, parting words. We've done the shameless promotions. Now, anything else you guys want to add before we drop?
Nope. I just wanted to say it. I've said it a couple times in chat and on here, but want to thank everybody for supporting us. It's come in, and the chat's been quite active. We've had 10 or 12, 15 people in here at a time, and that's pretty good for a show that's only number 2. So last week we had 20. There was some interest out there to see what we were all about, and we'll pick up some more in the upcoming weeks. Tell your friends, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
That's it. That's it for me. Thank you, Brad. Anything else, Robby? You're good to go?
I'm good.
All right. Peace, everybody. Victory.
Take care, y'all. Have a good evening.